Well, smart money moved 98 million into XRP just today, and yesterday, guys, 300 million flowed into XRP through RLUSD. They're not doing that for a chart pattern. Tomorrow morning, a Senate markup vote on the Clarity Act, the Fed board chair election, and whatever comes out of Beijing tonight could all land at the same time. Tonight, I'm going to show you what smart money already knows and the two possible roads XRP takes from here. I'm Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, so we're going to go ahead and get into it, and let's get started. Let me give you the full macro picture, because XRP doesn't move in a vacuum tonight, and we're going to start with oil. Sitting at $100.75 after this morning's PPI print came in at, get this, 1.4% month over month. That's nearly 3 times the half-point consensus. It's the biggest monthly increase since March of 2022. 6% annualized rate hike odds hit 39% today. The cipher on oil is showing a hidden bull signal. Oil's not done, inflation's not done, and the Fed's walking into Thursday's chair election, and he's got zero room to cut. DXY at 98.48 and rising. 10-year yields pressing the 0.786 fib at 4.473%, with room to push higher. Dollars rising is a headwind for crypto across the board. And Bitcoin dominance at 60.76% tonight, sitting right at the 382 Fibonacci resistance and above the 60.42% alt rotation gate. You got to think of dominance like a faucet. Right now, that faucet is closed. Bitcoin's pulling money away from alts, and until dominance closes a daily candle below 60.42%, every altcoin, including XRP, is operating with a headwind. That's the honest read tonight. And now three events that change absolutely everything this week. First is Beijing. Trump landed today with 16 of the most powerful CEOs in America. Get this, guys, $14 trillion in combined net worth on Air Force One today. And let me give you the rundown. Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Larry Fink from BlackRock, David Solomon for Goldman Sachs, Boeing, MasterCard, Visa, GE, and there's oil and LNG barons on that plane, energy executives with direct stakes in whatever gets negotiated in that room. These are not people who travel for ceremony. They travel when there's a deal to close, and U.S. officials confirmed China is expected to announce purchases of American energy, Boeing aircraft, and agriculture at this summit. Alaska LNG on the table, rare earth minerals truce extension on the table. The meetings are tomorrow and Friday, and what comes out of that room overnight has direct implications for oil prices, inflation expectations, and the Fed's room to move. We need to watch Beijing close. Second, the Federal Reserve Board holds its internal chair election Thursday. Kevin Warsh is confirmed to the Board of Governors by the Senate yesterday. Now the sitting governors vote among themselves to elect the chair. Here's the problem. Wash inherits 3.8% CPI, 1.4% PPI rate hike odds at 39%, and a tariff structure being contested in federal court. He has zero room to cut. The market will be watching his first signals as chair-elect closely. Any hint of hawkishness adds pressure to crypto across the board. Third, and this is the one that moves XRP specifically, is the Clarity Act. Senate Banking Committee markup is confirmed for tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. House Resolution 3633, 309 pages. This is the first comprehensive crypto regulatory framework the U.S. has ever seriously attempted to pass into law. And here's what it actually does. The SEC and the CFTC jointly classified XRP as a digital commodity on March 17th of this year. But that classification is an interpretive release, not a statute. A future administration could reverse it with regulatory memo. The Clarity Act writes that classification into permanent federal law. No future SEC, no future administration, no regulatory memo can undo it. That's why Ripple has been fighting for 4 years. That's why institutional money is waiting on the sidelines. And that's why Standard Chartered is projecting 4 to 8 billion in XRP ETF inflows if this bill passes. But here's what you need to understand about tomorrow. The committee splits 13 Republicans to 11 Democrats, and all 13 Republican votes are needed. Chairman Tim Scott called this threshold the red zone. Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana is still uncommitted, and his hesitation has nothing to do with crypto. He's frustrated about an unrelated housing bill. One senator, one vote. That's the margin this bill is riding on tomorrow morning. Polymarket odds hit 90% over the weekend. They've since slid to 62% after 5 major banking trade groups including the American Bankers Association, formally rejected the stablecoin compromise. This is not a sure thing. And Senator Cynthia Lummis has been clear, if this bill misses the Memorial Day recess window on May 21st, the next viable legislative window doesn't open until 2030, when a new Congress would have to restart the process from scratch. This is binary, one of the most binary events XRP has ever faced. XRP ETF inflows hit 25.8 million earlier this week. It's the biggest single day since January 5th. And Ripple moved 298 million into RLUSD in 3 simultaneous batches on May 12th. A single $98.2 million XRP transfer hit the whale tracker this morning. Unknown to unknown, smart money is starting to position. Now, I want to be clear because I'd rather be long than lie to you. Tomorrow is markup. That means the committee debates, amends, and votes on whether to advance the bill. Markup passing is a meaningful step, but it's not law. XRP's legal status doesn't change tomorrow morning. What changes is the direction of the regulatory clarity and market's price direction before the destination arrives. And here's the honest caveat. Every XRP holder needs to hear markup passing could trigger a buy the rumor, sell the news reaction. Smart money has been pre-positioning for weeks. When smart money is already loaded before a catalyst, the retail crowd often chases the move after the headline, and that's when smart money distributes into strength. Watch price action at open of markup tomorrow. Watch volume. Watch dominance. If XRP spikes hard on the headline and the volume doesn't confirm, that's going to be your tell. Both roads have a plan. Neither road has panic. Now let's talk about what the whales are doing. Day 13, it's the same institution, it's the same pattern, and there's not one single miss. Overnight and through today's session, 5,599 wrapped Bitcoin at $446 million at 3:18 Texas time. Another 5,599 wrapped Bitcoin at $445 million at 1:49 p.m. Coinbase institutional. They moved 639 Bitcoin to unknown cold storage this morning and another 644 billion at noon. The 13-day running total is approaching a whopping $35 billion, and that pattern has not changed one time. But here's the one that matters for XRP tonight. A $348 million USDC move from Coinbase Institutional to Coinbase at 3:24 Texas time. That's not cold storage, that's buying powder staged on exchange. Someone is preparing to buy tonight before tomorrow's vote. And on XRP directly, a single $98.2 million XRP transfer hit the whale tracker at 10:16 this morning. Unknown to unknown, that follows the $298 million in RLUSD that Ripple moved in 3 simultaneous batches on May 12th. Smart money is already positioned for tomorrow. The question is whether the vote delivers. And before we get into the chart, here's what I called, and when I called it, I called 82.5 as the wave 4 rejection target 6 days before it hit. Called the dead cat bounce, topping at 82.350, rejected perfectly by the weekly 50 smooth moving average. The 4-layer framework flagged bear cipher for signals at every sub-wave high, and the macro confirmed it. Whale flow confirmed it. Chart flow confirmed it. And while we're looking, trade 28 short is still live. You can see the entry, the current P&L is at about 49%. This is the $100 challenge. Started with $100, account sitting at approximately $280 tonight, nearly 180% return. BloFin has a $7,000 trading competition running all of May. Top price $2,800. Sign up through the link in my description, and you're automatically entered into the pool. Search the Crypto Cowboy in the BloFin copy trading tab if you want to skip the learning curve all directly. Full XRP trade details, entry, stops, targets, they're in the crypto school. You'll find the link in my description. Connor Kinney, Tyler Hill, they're both there. And if this is your first time here, subscribe right now. Tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., I will be on camera the moment the gavel drops. That's the most important moment in 90 minutes in crypto regulation hit this year. Hit subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss it. And we're going to start off with the weekly chart here, the 30,000-foot view of where XRP actually stands. What we're looking at, XRP has spent most of 2026 trapped between $1.30 and $1.45. The weekly structure shows a healthy pullback within a larger bull trend, not a breakdown, a coiling pattern before a potential catalyst move. What the indicators say, the weekly stochastic RSI at K at 88.53, above D at 84.54. Both elevated and K above D. The weekly cipher hidden bull signal active and still climbing. The momentum on the weekly time frame is intact, but what it means, the weekly structure supports a move to 192.1 as the first real weekly target. That's the 382 fib. Above that, 205.11, the weekly half fib. The weekly golden zone at 306 to 371 is the macro bull target if clarity passes and the gate opens. Those are not predictions. That's what the structure supports if the catalyst delivers. And we're going to zoom in here a little bit just to the daily chart. This is where the near-term story lives. And what we're looking at, XRP pulled back from the $1.50 rejection and sitting at 142. Look at the volume on this candle and while it's been down here, the volume spikes on the daily are significant. This is elevated volume on a downtrend, and what that tells you is there are active buyers absorbing the selling pressure at this level. That's not panic volume. That's accumulation volume. Smart money buying when retail is selling, and what the indicators say. Daily stochastic RSI, the speedometer at 81, well above D at 64. Room to run before reaching overbought. The daily cipher bull signal printed at the recent lows and is still active and climbing. And what it means, the volume tells you this level is being defended. The daily golden zone sits between 181.5 and 310.40. That's the macro target zone if the catalyst delivers. First real upside target is 157.8. The 786 fib above that is 181.5. The daily 618. The downside level to watch is $1.38. If the vote disappoints and 138 fails, 127.7 is the next floor. And before the 4 hours, something we need to talk about before we go any further. Some of you aren't thinking about this, but should be. Most people build a tax bill their whole life and never know there's another way. Every time you sell crypto for a gain outside of a retirement account, the IRS is your silent partner taking their cut every single time. A Bitcoin IRA through iTrust Capital lets your gains grow tax deferred or tax free. It's the same concept as a 401k, but it's built for Bitcoin and crypto. You're not just buying Bitcoin, you're protecting it. And it's not because they're a sponsor, it's because it's the right move. You get a $300 sign up bonus through the link in my description. And now to the 4 hour chart. Here's where the trade lives right now and what we're looking at. XRP is sitting at $1.42 right now on the 382 fib support above 142.41. Price rejected from the golden zone and pulled back cleanly to this level. And that's not weakness, that's structure. What the indicators say, 4 hour stochastic RSI, the speedometer, it's at 15.9 above D at 723. It's low, it's curling up from near zero, no confirmed cross yet. The cipher hidden bull signal just printed at this level. Bounce signal active, the setup is building but has not triggered. A good farrier doesn't shoe a horse while it's still moving. What it means, the 4 hour golden zone at 148.2 to 151.4 is the first target on any Clarity Act catalyst. That's where I'm watching for the first confirmation of a real move. And above that, 157.8. If dominance squeezes and XRP loses $1.38, the 4 hour retracement zone at 136.8 to 132.9 becomes the accumulation target before the next leg. Watch $1.42.41 as support tonight. Watch $1.48 as the first confirmation level on any Clarity Act headline tomorrow morning. And one more time, tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., the Clarity Act markup, the Fed board chair election. Beijing producing news overnight. Options expiry Friday. This is the most important 24 hours of the cycle for XRP. I will be on camera for all of it. And if you're not subscribed, you will miss the moment. Hit subscribe right now and tap that bell. Two roads from here, and I want to be honest about both. Road 1, Clarity Act markup passes cleanly Thursday morning. All 13 Republican votes hold. Kennedy comes through. BTC dominance breaks below 60.42% on the news, and funding goes positive across exchanges. XRP breaks through the 4 hour golden zone at 148.2. It runs towards 157.8, then 192.1. Analysts are projecting $170 to $2 on a clean markup, full Senate passage, paired with $4 to $8 billion in ETF inflows, points towards $3 to $5 by year end. That's the 98 million whale moving this morning, and the 298 million RLUSD pre-positioning on May 12th confirmed. Smart money is already loading for this road. In road 2, the markup stalls. Kennedy or another Republican breaks and banking opposition wins the day. XRP loses $1.38 and revisits the 4 hour retracement zone at 136.8 to 132.9. The next legislative window doesn't open until 2030, or market passes and market sells the news. Smart money that pre-positioned distributes into retail strength. Watch volume, watch dominance. The chart will tell you which version of road 2 you're looking at. Both roads have a plan. Neither road has panic. The crowd loads up at the gate, and smart cowboys wait to see which way the horse runs. And we're going to wrap this up just like we do every single night with our spiritual closer. Tonight comes from Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord and all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Tonight, the chart gives us structure. The whale data gives us the confirmation. The macro gives us the weight, but tomorrow's vote is out of our hands. We've done the work. We've read the data. We've mathed both rows. The rest isn't in our control, and that's okay. The channel was given to God on April 13th. Every call since then has come from being still enough to read what the data is actually saying, not what we want it to stay. Be still tonight. The answer comes tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to wrap it up right here. Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and we'll see you down the road.